It is March 17, and you will notice that I am wearing a lot of green today. Anyway, my biggest trial this trip, and all trips really, because I fly by the seat of my pants, is being able to find a place to park my car and stay for the night. I know Arizona is famous for being able to stealth camp and boondock, but I haven't found that to be the case for me. Anyway, a couple nights ago, I went to a campground. It was all full. I had to backtrack to town for quite a ways. And then I decided, well, I'll either do Walmart or I'll call the church. I'll stay at the church. So I went to the church and I called there, and a sweet lady answered, and I told her my predicament. Can I please stay there? And she said, oh, well, you can just come to stay at my house. So I got to stay in a lovely bed for the first time in 6 weeks and get refreshed. Anyway, it was lovely. So yesterday, I got an early start. I did a bit of shopping in Tubac, because that's such a quaint, neat town. You cannot stop there when you're in the area. And then I came to Patagonia State Park, where I'm at now. There's 108 campsites here. I got here around 12:30, and I got the last site. This seems to be the theme of my life, either no sites or the last sites. Anyways, it is a really special park. So they have a little nature trail that I'm going to take you on now. They say that it's one of the best places in the world to bird watch, and I believe it. Always closed gate. I guess there's cows around here. I got to see a beautiful cardinal last night. This is a man-made lake, but somehow the birds are attracted to it. Oh, there's a cardinal, I think. What a beautiful bush. Aww. There's been a lot of rain recently, so pretty wet. It's neat, they have benches for you to just sit. Lots of benches, I love that. Well, there's a lower loop and an upper loop. I guess I'll do the upper loop first. Continuing on with the hike through the Bible. After Moses smashed down the 10 commandments that the Lord had given him, that the Lord had written with his very own finger, because the people were dancing around and worshiping a golden calf, well, God had Moses cut out 2 new tables of stone and bring them up the mountain to him, and he would write the 10 commandments again. Moses had not asked for a set of new tables, but simply for a return of God's favor and a renewal of the covenant. But God could not grant his favor without requiring obedience to the law. The two are inseparable. Men are more willing to enjoy the rewards of right living than they are to live right. But God insists that the rewards can only be bestowed upon those who are obedient. He can enter into covenant relationship only with those who are willing to accept his law as their rule of life. This he does for their own sake rather than for his own. This repeating of writing the law upon tables of stone prove it to be unalterable and eternal. Moses was called upon to repair the loss of the 2 tables of the law caused by his own actions. So it is with us if we break God's law. Moses broke it literally, but we can too. This is Sonoita Creek. Oh, it is pretty. Oh my. We cannot hope for a return to divine favor unless we again place ourselves in the way of full obedience. For example, if you steal, then you need to repay. If you insult, then you need to apologize. If you slander, then you need to retract. Do you see? We have a part in making the law right. Definitely a cow path. It is Satan's whole purpose in life to make us go against God's law. And he is so subtle about it sometimes, too. You see, contempt for parental authority will soon lead for contempt of authority of God. We surely have a godless society now. Think about all the broken up homes and all the children raised by single parents. In Bible times, many heathen nations abandoned their parents or even put them to death as soon as they became of age where they were not able to provide for themselves. Satan was a murderer from the beginning, and as soon as he obtained power over the human race, he not only prompted them to hate and slay one another, but even more boldly, to defy the authority of God. Water in Arizona is pretty special. Heathen nations were led to believe human sacrifice is necessary to secure the favor of their deities. I mean, honestly, how far from God's sixth commandment can one go? And the violation of the seventh commandment was early practiced in the name of religion. That is the commandment of not committing adultery. The most licentious and abominable rites were made a part of the heathen worship. The gods themselves were represented as impure as their worshippers and gave rein to the baser passions, if you know what I mean. Polygamy also was rampant. And the Sabbath commandment, the one which says remember, has been mostly forgotten. I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say here. It has always been Satan's purpose to misrepresent God's character and to excite rebellion against his law. This work seems to be crowned with success. Oh, those cows don't mind crossing the creek, but I do. So, I guess this is the end for me. Sorry, people, you have to come do it yourself if you want to see what's over there. Unless there's a place down here, a narrower place I could cross. But no, doesn't look like it. I don't want to get my feet wet. Through Satan's temptations, the whole human race have become transgressors of God's law. But because of the sacrifice of his Son, a way is opened whereby we may return to God. And through the grace of Christ, we may be enabled to render obedience to the Father's law. This is pretty fun. Thus, in every age, in the midst of rebellion, God gathers out a people who are true to him, a people in whose heart is his law. This nature trail at Patagonia State Park is a 5 out of 5, no doubt. Birds and butterflies and blooms and trees and streams. Oh, what an incredible experience. This has been my favorite hike of my whole trip so far. Highly recommended. So blessed to be here. Look at this. These are cotamundis. Oh, how fun. That was incredible. Now I can add cotamundis to the list. They make cute grunting sounds. Oh, that was incredible. I saw so many of them. I couldn't capture them all. It's such varied terrain. I just love it. Ooh, I hear a lot of bees up there. Yikes. What is that? Fish jumping? This is where they have nature talks, and they cheat a little bit and put out bird food to attract the birds. How many of you praise God for Jesus and his sacrifice so that we can come to him and obey his law?